Okay, let's talk about something that is so frustrating. You know English, right? You can read it, you can understand it just fine. But when it's your turn to actually speak, something just freezes you up. Well, today we're going to get to the bottom of why that happens. And I'll give you a hint, it's probably not for the reason you think it is.
Does this sound familiar? You're in a conversation, maybe just ordering a coffee or you're in a work meeting, and you know exactly what you want to say. And then all eyes are on you. The spotlight turns to you, and poof, nothing. Just a silent panic.
It's almost a physical feeling, isn't it? Your heart might start beating a little faster. You can practically feel all that vocabulary you've spent years learning just sitting there, right on the tip of your tongue. And then, just like that, they're gone. It's like a door just slams shut in your brain, locking away every single word you were about to use. That connection between your thoughts and your mouth, it just feels like it's been completely severed. So, you stay quiet. Maybe you just nod, give a tight little smile, and then comes the absolute worst part. That voice inside your head that starts whispering, "Why can't you do this? See, you're just not good enough." And that feeling right there is exactly what we're here to change. All right, let's really dive into this because this is the first huge mindset shift we need to make. That problem you're facing, that mental block, it's not actually an English problem. We've all been taught that the answer is just more knowledge. So we buy another grammar book, we download another vocabulary app, and we keep telling ourselves, okay, once I know enough, then I'll be ready to speak. But somehow, that day never seems to arrive, does it? That's because we're busy trying to fix the wrong thing. So this brings us to the absolute core idea of this whole explainer. There is a fundamental misunderstanding about how we become fluent in a language, and getting this right, well, it changes absolutely everything.
Let this one really sink in for a second. We think we have to wait until we're perfect to feel confident enough to speak, but that's completely backwards. Confidence is not the reward you get for speaking perfectly. It's the key that unlocks your ability to even start speaking in the first place. It's the starting line, not the finish line.
See, this is how we flip the script. Most of us think that fluency will one day lead to confidence, but it's actually the other way around. It all starts with just a tiny spark of confidence, just enough to believe you can try. That little belief lets you speak, even if it's imperfect, and it's those imperfect attempts that give you the practice that eventually builds real fluency. So here's the bottom line. That wall you keep hitting isn't a vocabulary wall. It's not a grammar wall. It is a belief wall. You could have all the English knowledge in the world, but if you don't believe you have the right to use it imperfectly, you're always going to stay silent. So if confidence is the magic ingredient, where did ours go? I mean, it's not like you were born with this fear. It's something that was learned. And understanding where it comes from, that's the first step to finally undoing it. Just think back for a minute. Maybe for you, it was in a classroom where every little mistake you made was circled in bright red ink, teaching you that being wrong is something to be ashamed of. Or maybe you're always comparing yourself to native speakers, which is just an impossible standard. Or maybe, and this is a big one, it was just one single bad moment. A time you tried to speak and someone laughed or corrected you or just looked confused. And that feeling of embarrassment just stuck. And I really needed to hear this. Those experiences don't mean there's something wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not slow. You are a person who is learning a new and complex skill. And that process is supposed to be messy. Okay, so we've figured out the problem. Now let's get to the good stuff, the cure. We're officially moving from the why to the how. These are real, practical things you can do to start building that belief in yourself again. Think about it like this. It's just like learning to ride a bike. Nobody learns to ride a bike by reading a book about it, right? You have to actually get on, you have to wobble, and yeah, you're probably going to fall a few times, and you get back on. Speaking English is the exact same thing. Your first sentences are going to be clumsy. You're going to make mistakes. But every single attempt, every wobble, is forward motion. You're learning by doing, not by waiting to be perfect. Now, this is a tool you can start using literally right now. That critical voice in your head, it's just a habit, and you can build a new one. The next time you catch yourself thinking, I made a mistake, I want you to consciously replace it with, nope, this is just part of the process. Instead of thinking, they're all judging me, try this one. I'm being brave just by trying. This isn't just about positive thinking, it's about reframing speaking as practice, not a performance.
So, how do we actually build this into a daily routine? Well, the key is to start safe. Start in really low pressure situations. Try just narrating your day out loud in simple English. I am making coffee. This coffee is hot. Just getting the words out is a win. Or record your voice on your phone, not to judge it, but just to get used to the sound of you speaking English. Try to think in English while you're making tea. Each of these is a tiny, private step that builds the speaking habit without the fear.
Now, this is the trap. This is what keeps so many of us stuck. It's a vicious cycle. You're afraid to speak, so you stay silent. Because you don't speak, you don't get any practice. And with no practice, your confidence drops even lower, which of course makes you even more afraid to speak next time. See? It just feeds itself.
And there is only one way out of that loop. It's simple, but man, it is not easy. You have to speak. You just have to do the thing that you're afraid of. One small, broken, imperfect sentence is an act of defiance against that fear. It is the one action that can shatter the entire loop. So, let's bring all of this together into one single action. Something you can do the moment this is over. We're not trying to run a marathon here. We are just aiming for one single step. Please burn this idea into your brain. Give yourself permission to be imperfect. The goal of language is not perfection, it's connection. If your broken English gets your idea across, then guess what? It worked. It succeeded. It is valid. It counts. Don't overwhelm yourself with the idea of having some long, perfect conversation. Your mission is way simpler than that. Just one sentence. Maybe it's ordering your lunch. Maybe it's saying, "Have a good day" to a cashier. That's all. That is the win for today. And that is the final thought I want to leave you with. Don't just think about it. Actually decide. Right now, what is the one small, imperfect, but totally brave sentence that you are going to put out into the world today? Because that one sentence, that's the beginning of everything.